This is a brief lesson on how to take notes when you're listening for main ideas and details. It goes with Unit 9, Lesson 1 in the Future Advanced textbook. So the instructions are here. It's asking us for the first time to listen for main ideas. It says listen to the podcast and list the 4 main tips for well-being in the first column, and we can't really compare our tips with a partner, although at the end I'll ask you to compare your tips with an answer key. So I would listen to the audio. If I'm in Google Slides, I can click here. If I'm in the Nearpod presentation, it's a separate slide for you. So you see this, and then the audio is here, and I can click to play. And if you're in Schoology, you should see the audio file in the folder here as step 3. However you do it, your goal is to listen and take notes about the tips for well-being that you hear from the experts in the podcast. So let's say I click here and I listen to the audio, and I hear a tip from the first expert. And their tip is to engage in physical activity. So again, in the Google Slides, I can write it right there. Of course, you can write in your textbook. Got a spelling mistake, but that's not a huge deal. We can deal with that. And I'm going to do that in this column for each of the experts that I hear in the video. I'm sorry, the audio. The next step is to listen again for details, and this time you're going to use this second column, suggestions for practicing that tip, to get more details about each piece of advice that the experts give. So if the first piece of advice was engage in physical activity, I don't know why I'm having trouble spelling physical. I would then go ahead and listen to the audio again. And I can pause it whenever I want. And then I would add in the suggestion or example for practicing that tip. So in this case, I believe I heard the expert say something about going to the gym and walking as much as possible. So those would be the details that go with that first tip to engage in physical activity. When you're finished, you can go back to Schoology and click here to check examples of your answers.